Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to welcome each and every one of us to the first program of WAMDEVIN, West African Mining Development Institute Network program for year 2021. We appreciate each and every one of us, and we thank you for your support and patronage. Let me start by recognizing the ESCO members. I know any moment from now they will join us. The president of the institute, who is also the Director General of Liberia Institute of Public Administration, Professor Alexander B. Yole, the first Vice President of the network, the Director General of the Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, Mrs. C.U. Gaya MNI, the Regional Director of Pan-African Institute for Development, Dr. Daniel Ekongi, the Rector of GIMPA, Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, Professor Philip Simpson, the Director General of Management Development Institute, Mr. Aliu K. Jaju, and the Deputy Vice Chancellor of the Institute of Public Administration and Management, IPAM, Sierra Leone. I welcome each and every one of you, and also all our chief executives of all our different member institutions, especially also our facilitator that I will also introduce shortly. I want to welcome each and every one of you on behalf of the president. And I believe that any moment from now, the president himself will join us on this program. The theme of the workshop is developing a new business model for learning and development practitioners. We've all come to a level where we cannot go back again. So it's very important that we learn how do we continue swimming in the normal life that we have found ourselves. So for these 2 days, WAMDEVIN has packaged this program so that it can get all of us better exposed to how do you manage this period. And so we have, as part of the objectives, that we are going to look at developing a new growth mindset that we all require in order to move forward, discuss the new training concepts of learning and development for post-COVID-19 world, design modules for online learning, and apply the new skills to engage learners. Before I introduce our moderator and the first facilitator, let me quickly read out the rules of this program. That please, all participants should not unmute their microphones except during question and answer period. Participants should please use raise hand or chat for questions. All papers presented will be forwarded to all of us at the end of the webinar. Participants might be allowed to contribute to the topics at the end of each presentation. And a feedback link will be forwarded to all of us for evaluation. Having done that, I think I will have to start by first introducing to us the moderator of this 2 days webinar series, and later I will introduce our first facilitator to us. Our moderator is an Assistant Director of Studies in Administrative Staff College of Nigeria. He has his MSc from Lagos State University in Nigeria in Environmental Resource Management, and he bagged his PhD from University of Malaysia and specialized in environmental planning and management. He has written several papers and contributed to a lot of journals. Dr. Ayola is a member of International Association for Impact Assessment. He's also a member of Nigerian Association of Training and Development, and also is also a member of Nigerian Institutes for Training and Development. Dr. Abiola Ayola has attended a lot of trainings, both within and outside the country. For these 2 days, Dr. Ayola will moderate the program. Dr. Ayola, you are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for having me, sir.
Please let me just quickly permit me to bring on board our first facilitator, who is also one of the owners of this network. I'm just their obedient servant, and when they give me instructions, I follow that without wasting time. As I've said, he's one of the owners of the network. He is the Director General of one of the MDIs in the great city of Lagos, and the first and foremost in Lagos State. Dr. Eso Ajose Harrison is a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management. He's a fellow of Institute of Management Consultants. He's a fellow of Nigerian Institute of Training and Development. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome the Director General of Lagos State Public Service Staff Development Center, who will be leading us on the discussion, Developing Growth Mindset. Dr. S.O. Ajose Harrison is a trainer par excellence. Dr. Harrison, you are welcome.
Thank you very much, Dr. Olowe. I hope you can hear me, sir.
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for bringing me on board. First and foremost, we would like to say that we are all grateful to God for making this webinar a reality. This is the very, very first one that WAMDEVIN will be organizing in year 2021. So I'd like to also appreciate our founding fathers and the entire members of EXCO of WAMDEVIN and other MDIs present. I also want to appreciate other facilitators who will support me after my own presentation. So today we are grateful because we are looking at a new normal from another perspective. And the other perspective that we're looking at the new normal is to look at who we are as L&D practitioners and what can our MDI do to fit in pretty well in this new normal. It's very, very key for us to understand that in life, there will be one challenge or the other. But the most important thing is to break barriers and move ahead. And that's very, very important for us now. I would like to share my slides. I have so many slides, but in training, there's a way we go about this. I'm not talking to all my slides, but I will explain. Move on. So let us see what we really need to understand and appreciate. The theme chosen by WAMDEVIN is very, very appropriate. It's developing a new business model for learning and development practitioners. My topic will zero in on developing growth mindset. To start with, I have, as a trainer, prepared the learning outcomes and the outline. At the end of the session for my learning outcomes, participants will be able to assess the results of accomplishment by people and their personal philosophies, meaning that individuals have to own their mindset. It's very, very key and important. And when you own it, you are owning it for your agency, for your MDI. Number two, you'll be able to distinguish between growth mindset and fixed mindset. Number three, we'll be able to connect growth and fixed mindset together with self-leadership. And number four, we'll be able to apply at least 2 methods of sustaining growth mindset despite challenges so that we can be part of this new business model that we're all talking about. The outline goes this way. We'll look at general overview of philosophical thoughts affecting people's mindset so that they can use that even for all their organizations. Number two, we want to look at sometimes what we mean by mindset, self-leadership, results, then the difference between growth and fixed mindset. Number three, what are the features of both growth and fixed mindset? And number four, how do we connect the two together with self-leadership? Number five, that will be a video show to let us know that it's very, very possible to migrate from having a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, which is very, very key and important for all of us. Then we are going to apply 2 methods to sustain growth mindset despite challenges. And finally, there will be summary and conclusion. Now, all I would like to share with us under introduction is the fact that the entire globe has been witnessing radical transformations in different aspects of people's lives and also in the ecosystem. And we're saying that since 1998, the entire world has started witnessing environmental shocks in different forms. It could be climate change, global warming, particularly in Europe and Asia, because scientists found out that industrial emissions caused a lot of problems for the entire globe, and it depleted the ozone layer. And this has adverse consequences on nature and life. We human beings, we were not spared of the changes. And so what we are looking at and what we are talking about is the fact that though there were challenges, human beings were not spared of the challenges too. In developing economies, what played out was really the initial mindset of the populace on issues surrounding socio-economic developmental approach because their psyche had been badly affected. Now, we are talking about this because there is a reason. The reason is that individuals, like psychologists will say, must understand how to face challenges and how to break barriers. If individuals do not have this understanding, there could be a lot of other encumbrances. And that's why we're saying, let's look at ourselves, let's look at mindset, let's look at what culture has said. I'll quickly talk about what Farid El-Shamawi in 2020 explained about mindsets. He said, when nations of the world go through a lot of challenges, people should not only look at what the challenges are in the physical environment, but they must also look at the impact of culture. What is culture doing to help everybody mitigate the impact of global shocks? And that's very, very important for us. So even when we talk of individuals, having their own mindsets, culture also has a big role to play in ensuring that in spite of challenges, we are able to break barriers and move forward. And that's why it's important for us to know two things. The first is structural functionalism. The second one is psychologism. Psychologism is about you. Structural functionalism is about the culture. What is the culture looking at in terms of how we can all develop the right mindset, which we all call the growth mindset. And that's very, very key and important for all of us. So we must appreciate that developing our mindsets matter a lot in this discourse. And one thing which everybody must appreciate is the fact that there must be that resilient spirit in all of us. If we don't have it, we have to find a way of, looking at how to develop it. It's a major concept that people should not forget. It's called resilience. You must have that ability to bounce back when you are bent or when you are faced with turbulence. And this is the real mindset that we are all talking about. For people who have read books written by Robert Schuller, he wrote a book that says, it's only tough people who will succeed. But people who are not tough, they'll have challenges. And how can you be a tough person? You'll be tough because you have vision. You'll be tough because there's a mission you want to accomplish. You'll be tough because you are thinking of results. All of us must be able to think like that. It's when we begin to think like that that we become tough. So tough times do not last, but only tough people will last through the right mindset. And that's why we are talking about resilience all the time. However, I want to share this with us very quickly that there's a connect between who we are, the kind of mindset we have developed for ourselves, and the concept of self-leadership. Self-leadership is having a developed sense of who you are, what you can do, where you are going, coupled with the ability to influence your communication, and in particular, your emotions and behaviors on the way to getting there. Self-leadership is also the process by which you influence yourself. So it's about you, first and foremost. If you are good, then the big vision of your society, your MDI, becomes clearer because you have a goal, because you have a mission, because your mind is about progress. Your mind is about, I can do it. Your mind is about common will. The society can do it for us. All of us must enjoy. All of us must have access to the basic things of life, generally. So your mindset is key for you to be a self-leader. And that's why we are saying that there's a connect between self-leadership and mindset. You are the person to influence yourself, first and foremost. In spite of challenges, you must influence yourself. As we move on, we are just talking about you, what motivates you, your culture, your communication skills, your self-reflection, and how you handle money. Is it money that matters, or is it life that matters? There's a connect between the two. But once you have a basic thing, you are good. Basic resource, financial resource, you are good. And that's very, very important for us. Look at how babies learn. They do so many wonderful things. They never stop using their brain. They fail in an unbelievable amount of times, but the effort keeps coming, and look at how much they accomplished in just a few years. They control their body, they laugh, they talk, they crawl, they walk, and do lots of other things. So, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, is all about who we are and how we want to influence ourselves and impact upon our MDI. And that's why Wikipedia explains to us that your mindset is a set of assumptions, your methods or notions held by you or more people or groups of people. In decision theory, a mindset can be seen as arising and I always like people to know that, yes, we want government to do something for us. We want our MDI to do something for us. They must provide an enabling environment. If they provide 60%, we must be able to provide 40%. And now, today, we are reversing the trend. You provide 60 first, let your MDI provide 40. It may be unacceptable to so many people, but the important thing is this: who shapes the world? Human beings. It is not the world. We've been given dominion to domesticate the world. So we have the very, very first set of responsibilities to cause a turnaround for good. And that's very key and important for all of us. So let's move on. Let's move on so that we appreciate the nature of mindset. Mindset can be transcended. We're talking about habits of the mind. Mindset can be developed, can shape our world. Sometimes they are self-deceptive. They can create blind spots, but usually they are created by experiences. Now, we want to quickly look at the difference between growth mindset and fixed mindset. Now, when somebody has a fixed mindset, the person believes that nothing can change, it's fixed. So him or her intelligence is set in stone, it can't change. And to that person, you either have it when you are born or you don't have it. But life has gone beyond that because scientists have proved to us that we can make many things better. We can turn things around. You can break away from inertia. Inertia means a force that is opposing motion. You can do it if you have that understanding that the power of dominion resides inside of you. Aircraft have been created. Human beings did the creation. Today, we are talking of the fourth industrial revolution. Who has done it? Human beings again. So we must appreciate our place as humans in mindset development and utilization. Growth mindset. That is our focus. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. For you to be somebody who is there, who has a growth mindset, you must understand the features. In growth mindset, intelligence can be developed. Nobody is born knowing everything or being able to do everything. You have to learn what you want to know, or you have to learn what you want to know or be able to do. So it's very, very key and important for us to appreciate that. Let's continue the journey. If you face these challenges with a fixed mindset, then you will have challenges like this. In the area of your goal, your effort, or setbacks, or challenges, all of these things will happen. Let's look at fixed mindset. It says, for your goal, you will look smart at all costs. And it looks like put quick answers down with no justification. Anything you do and doesn't have a justification, a reason, then there is a problem. In the area of your goal, that is what people will see. And anybody who goes through this kind of experience knows that there is a challenge. And the challenge is that that person is having something close to a fixed mindset. Okay, look at effort, for example. Then we move on. Putting effort is bad because if you have to try, then you aren't a natural person. How will you say putting effort is bad? Because if you have to try, then you aren't a natural person. You still have to put effort. But if your thinking is always like that, it means you have a fixed mindset. And it looks like avoid effort. Distract yourself. Distract others. Don't even try. When we begin to see features like that, then it means a fixed mindset has developed in us. And we really need to find a way of breaking out of that. When it comes to setbacks or challenges, the fixed mindset person will say, let's hide this mistake and let's avoid challenges. because they might make you not look as smart as people think you are. And it looks like this. You avoid anything you think is too difficult. You avoid fractions, adds, division, and so on and so forth. Ladies and gentlemen, when we have this scenario that are played out in the area of your goal, your effort, and setbacks, and you are still saying nothing can happen, then that person has some high degree of fixed mindset, above 80%. And that is not really good. It's not good, and we want to break away from that and move on to a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the direct opposite of all I've shared in the last 5 minutes. It's a simple belief that intelligence can be beaten. It is malleable. Like panel beaters, automobile panel beaters, panel beats wrong parts of a vehicle, dented parts of the vehicle. And that's why we are saying that if you have the real growth mindset, it's a belief that your intelligence is malleable and it can better equip people, children, adults, trainers for challenging tasks and difficult subject matter. It's also important because it will help all of us, even if we see ourselves as students, and realize that we can succeed through effort and dedication. And this can create love for us to learn more, learn more. A growth mindset person learns. The brain continues to learn. Like Bill Clinton, we always share with all of us. You need to teach yourself, learn new things for 2 weeks on a yearly basis, every year until God calls you, until you are no longer on the earth. So you will have to continue to learn and learn and learn. It's when you learn and learn that you become a better person and you become an asset to your MDR. So that's very, very good and important for all of us. We can go on and on to look at the difference between fixed mindset and growth mindset. But let's check this slide before we move very, very fast. I want us to begin to do the comparison very, very quickly, very quickly, very quickly, very quickly, and very quickly. So let me move on this. Fixed mindset believes that you should avoid challenges. Growth mindset believes like challenges and thrive on challenges. Fixed mindset believes you lose interest when not doing well. Growth mindset believes do not lose interest when challenged. Fixed mindset believes failure defines you, gives you a label. But growth mindset says failure does not define you. Fixed mindset believes when fail, study less. Growth mindset believes that when you fail, study harder. You will still get it right. So when things get tough for fixed mindset people, they'll say give up. Growth mindset will say when things get tough, intensify, don't give up. Fixed mindset believes don't need effort. Everything you want to do should be inborn. Growth mindset says no, effort makes you smart and talented. Ladies and gentlemen, we can go on and on, but the point has been made that a growth mindset person looks at new ways of ensuring that results are achieved. A growth mindset person never gives up. And that's why we believe that mindset can be changed. Mindset can be changed. The Wright brothers told their father, who was a reverend father, Christian, that they will try as much as possible to invent an aeroplane. The father said, impossible. They were saying heresy. But the Wright brothers said that we shall do it because they saw that birds could fly. If birds could fly, they can do something similar to a bird. And they invented an aeroplane with a growth mindset. So they tried to let their dad know that belief that it was not possible should not be an issue. That the issue of possibility is what they want to concentrate and focus their attention upon. So, looking at growth and fix, which one do we think is better? One is always bringing about progress at the end of the day. The other one is not bringing about any progress. So that's why we are asking the question, which one is better for us? We need to start to catch ourselves in the better one for the growth and benefit of ourselves and indeed our MDI. Because MDI succeeds through people, through wonderful, progressive, and visionary people. A growth mindset person is a visionary person. You don't give up when you start your invention or innovation. Even with your creativity, once you have not gotten it, you don't give up. That's what growth mindset people do. So let's move on very, very quickly to the issue of how we want to deal with our mindsets. Being in a growth mindset takes practice. Let's read the article they are talking about in the clip. Now, as you are reading, you need to write down the key points. We'll do the recitation and we'll do the review. There's also another issue regarding intelligence. How can you grow your intelligence? What is the key to growing the brain? What is the truth about smart and dumb? And what can you do to get smarter? These are key and real issues to all of us and for us to know where we belong. Because of time, we are moving ahead a little bit, but I just want to prepare our minds for what to expect. There will be a short test to let us know what kind of mindset we have, whether it is growth or fixed. Connecting growth and fixed mindset with self-leadership. We now have this first question. Are people born smart? You can see the picture of that small girl, baby, the baby, and the teddy bear. What do we want to make out of that? The baby is playing with the teddy bear, holding on to the teddy bear, and you can see her face. There's a small smile coming from her face. Happy doing what she's doing, happy to hold the teddy bear as a companion, even though maybe the parents may not be very, very close by. But you see, it's the parent, the dad took that picture, and there was communication between the dad and the baby. But they know that companionship is key. In life, you need a companion. You need to hold on to somebody or something that gives you that initial motivation we need. We all want to be motivated, and we need people to come close to us so that we can achieve our goals. So the question is this: is that baby a smart baby? My answer is yes. Smart people will still smile in the face of any challenge. Although, depending on the gravity of the challenge. But for a baby, we are saying we should return to how babies behave, so that even though we have more of growth mindset than fixed mindset, if the gap is too close, we need to learn how to move the gap bigger. It should move from, let's say, 40% to something like 80%, not 40-60, not even 50-50. We want you to have a growth mindset that takes you to something over 80% so that you can deliver for your organization and even for yourself. So people, yes, could be born smart and they are born smart. We are looking at ceteris paribus, all things being equal, no health challenge, no health problem. Yes, we could be born smart. And I want to encourage all of us to look at what we are looking at now, to appreciate the fact that, yes, situations may not be the same, but at the end of the day, we must find a way of becoming smart. That's very, very important. Now, look at this political leader, Winston Churchill. He repeated a grade during elementary school. So if you are saying he was not born smart, he was placed in the lowest division of the lowest class because he didn't do well. Do you think his parents were worried about his potential? Eventually, he became a very great guy in the world. Look at this wonderful composer too, Beethoven. His teacher called him a hopeless composer. If someone said that about your child, what will you do and how will you feel? Are you going to tell your child to try a different activity? But at the end of the day, this guy is somebody that we have known as a wonderful composer. Now, look at another person. Leo Tolstoy. He dropped out of college. He was described as both unable and unwilling to learn. But he didn't give up as a writer. He continued. He continued. He continued even in the face of adversity. And at the end of the day, we are talking about him today, Leo Tolstoy. Now look at in business. We have a business leader that the whole world knows, Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, he is the second richest man in the world. He failed to get into Harvard Business School. But that did not deter him from his vision. He still continued. What if he took that to mean he should not be in business because he failed to get into Harvard Business School? And now, if you are talking of those who have succeeded in business, the first three, you're going to mention Warren Buffett because his mindset was on resilience, and even still now is still in resilience. Don't give up. Don't give up and don't give up. And that's why we are showing ourselves all of this to encourage ourselves, to let us know that we can do far greater than what we have imagined. Let us look at a few other role models that can, motivate us and move us away from fixed mindset to growth mindset. Albert Einstein's teacher said that he was academically subnormal. You know what that means? In Yoruba language, they'll tell that person that the person is an olodo. Olodo means that person is academically low. That person does not know anything. And in the whole world, when people are not putting up their weight, they are not giving up their very best, or they cannot even do it initially, we look at them as laggards. We say, these people cannot go far at all. But when we SWOT people, SWOT, when you carry out a SWOT analysis in people, you can begin to re-affect their lives positively. And they begin to start to know that many things are possible. They can begin to do better and get better until they become excellent. But in the case of Albert Einstein, the teacher said he was academically subnormal, but he did not give up. So the secret lies in not giving up and believing that you can be a better person through exercise, training, continue to repeat what is happening, continue to do and do and do. And people will now say, yes, you are getting it better and better, and you are trying your best. Don't feel bad. Don't feel insulted. Don't allow your pride to go down because initially they thought you cannot do it. But with your own determination and the right mindset that, yes, you want to be a success in life, you will get there as an L&D practitioner, and you will positively impact upon your MDI. Look at Michael Jordan. His coach said he wasn't more talented than other people. But guess what? At the end of the day, the coach surrendered. So that's important. Look at Walt Disney. He was told that he lacked creative imagination. But today, see the books he had written and see what he had done to so many people to encourage them to move on and to work with right imagination. Because when you imagine something, what you have imagined may happen, but you have to do something. Why don't you imagine positively most of the time? Sorry, it's a little bit spiritual now. The question I always ask people is this: can darkness overcome light? I repeat, can darkness overcome light? Ladies and gentlemen, my distinguished listeners, the truth of the matter is that it is not possible. Darkness will never overcome light. Never. Light is supreme, and that is key. And light is about every good thing we do. And life is about, yes, everybody having better access to welfare service. That is what we mean by common will. That's what we mean by life. And that's what growth mindset people will want to do. J.K. Rowling was told her story will never sell. But they all got the shock of their lives because the story sold. With a lot of resilience. So that's why we need to understand and appreciate that the growth mindset thing is important. People who be made, people may not necessarily be born with those gifts. Yes, both sides, people are born with natural gifts, but through training, we can make out leaders of ourselves. And that's what the growth mindset is talking about. You can see the flower, you can see the soil. You need something to add to it. You need something as your base. And that's why we are sharing these stories. Many people in the world have gone through challenges. And today the story is different. Look at Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola started with just a glass cup. And the man kept on marketing it. Airport, supermarkets, even on the highways, on the streets. Oh, you just test it, test it. Today, it's a conglomerate. Today, is one, you are talking of Coca-Cola in the whole world. Whichever region of the world, you see Coke because of growth mindset. Just look at this small cartoon. The two mindsets. This is the way my intelligence is. That is the little I can do. If you talk deep, you can see me with that red arrow. The other one says me. No, intelligence will grow and develop. And you can see my candle light. Me. Two different people. One is saying it is not possible. The other one is saying it's possible. This is the way my intelligence is. Low, in purple. The other person says, no, my intelligence will grow and develop. And he lifted it up. You can see. That's me. My light is up there. So there must be a resilient spirit in us to take us to the real mindset, which is the growth mindset. Naturally, in life, there will be challenges. The growth mindset person prepares himself or herself for challenges of life. Because he has prepared or she has prepared herself for the challenges of life. Barriers, will be broken. Now, people look at failure, and that is challenge or problem. They look at it as an opportunity for reflection and growth. And that is exactly what we want all of us to look at. Having failed for once doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Don't use labels. Don't let your child use these labels. Don't shelter your child from the realities of failure by placing blame on others. Even your colleagues at work, don't tell them that it is the end. No, you have to encourage and motivate them and support them to get it better, to do it right. It requires a bit of, patience on our side. Those who are motivating others, we have to be a little bit patient. We have to be a little bit accommodating, and we have to set a realistic time frame within which we see that person change and grow to become an asset in our MDI. And look at that question. What can you learn from this experience? What could you try differently the next time? Because we are telling everybody not to see failure as a permanent thing, just a temporary setback. So that we can go and do. I'm trying to let us know that for us to be where we're actually supposed to be in life, we must aim for excellence in everything we do. And that is what the growth mindset strives and stands for. It's always aiming for excellence all the time. And that is very, very important and key for us. We'll get there with that resilient spirit and mind. Improve your self-esteem so that you can win laurels. You can win cups. Everything lighting up in you through your brain. So let your brain light up yourself so that your growth mindset can be there. I repeat, failure is an opportunity to grow again. Because with a growth mindset, you will see failure as a challenge which will help you to grow because you are not running away from it. You've gotten the feedback which is constructive, and you will tell yourself, I want to try new things. I'm not staying on one point. And that is where we want all of us to be. We don't want us to move to the right side, which is fixed mindset, which says failure is the limit of my abilities. It is not true. Fixed mindset people will say when they are frustrated, they give up. It is not a good approach. Fixed mindset people will say they stick to what they know. That is why the color is not as bright. Look at the other side. Growth mindset, blue, love. It's a color that tells you, yes, you're on course. And it tells you you can do it. Very, very important and possible. So let's move very, very quickly. All right. Now, we want us to still have that opportunity of understanding that between the two that we have talked about, it is still all about growth mindset. We want to promote growth mindset. And in promoting growth mindset, we are saying that there are just two examples in everyday life. We're saying trainers, teachers who always believe that it is not possible will often beat themselves up and feel that they are not good enough to do the job. We don't want that kind of mindset to be a mindset that will play out. We want a better mindset, which is the growth one, which says that trainers, teachers, and students will use the feedback to reflect and improve upon performance. And we want to say that to promote growth mindset, we need to celebrate small victories. We need to praise efforts and strategies. We need to help ourselves focus on and value the process of learning. And we need to engage in activities that involves collaboration. We can do it together. It is not only ourselves. We want to do it together with other people So these 4 points are key: celebrating small victories, praising efforts and strategies, helping ourselves to focus and value the process of learning, and we should do collaboration, which is very, very key. Now, as I skip, I want us to forget misconceptions that growth mindset is about changing young people, not adults. It is not right. Number 2, we are saying that all that matters is what is in the mind. It is not about that. It is about a robust vision of what is going to get better in future. It's also about improvement. But don't let people tell us that false growth mindset is saying you have growth mindset when you don't really have it. You must first and foremost see yourself as having a sense of wanting something to improve. And that is very, very key and important for us, according to Professor Dweck. Now, in developing a growth mindset, you need to create a new and compelling belief. You need to view failure in a different light. You need to become a curious learner. As trainers and L&D practitioners, we must become curious in learning. We must be massively inspired by others who are doing well. And we must look at challenges as our best friend. We must also understand our key strengths and weaknesses, which is self-awareness. We must align with our passion, and we must become incurably tenacious. Don't allow the power of yet to bring you down, because we are looking at where you can be. If you always say you are not good at this, you are not good at that, you are still operating on a mindset that will not take you to growth mindset. Please be more positive. Be more positive. And it is not about saying it, it's about having that passion from within you. It must well up in you. And you will see that success before it has actually started. For you to say, I cannot, I am not, it is no. It is not something that will help us. What will help us is the positive side of the power of yet. That's very, very important. And there is a spiritual thing we all do. It's funny. You must speak good things. Tell yourself, do the talk. What you say to yourself when things are hard matters a lot. And that's what has helped my own MDI, Lagos State Public Service Staff Development Center. We always come through challenges. You see us talking about the power of courage, courage to break barriers. So the essence of developing growth mindset is for personal and organizational success, because as a man thinks, so is the man. So that's why the thing must go up all the time. It must go up all the time. With growth mindset, there will be improved productivity, there will be excellent customer relations, there will be improved revenue generation, there will be improved work processes, and there will be effective interagency coordination. These 5 things will happen when you develop that mindset, when you well up that mindset, and when you speak positively. It has been something that needs to connect with your being, and you take the next step. And that's very, very important. Look at these two. This is a slide. The first test is what is happening to the person in the first slide. 2 people are talking together. We have a leader reading out instructions to a manager, and we have a woman sitting before a boss. What do you think is the best answer out of these 3? 2 people talking together, a leader reading out instructions to a manager, and a woman sitting before a boss. Look at it again. You can just put your answer in the chat box. That's all. Just 1 minute. Then look at this 2. Look at this lady. She's not smiling, but she has about 5 people behind her. What's happening? A leader expressing unhappiness as a failed process. B, a team led by a boss, all bearing unhappy looks. And C, a dissatisfied boss, being followed by an unhappy team. So what do you see? Let's see your chart also to know whether it is A or B or C that you have chosen. A leader expressing unhappiness as a failed process, a team led by a boss, all bearing unhappy looks, and a dissatisfied boss, be followed by an unhappy team. Make your choice. And this is for all of us as I round up. If a business nosedives and economic challenges continue to increase, such that agencies will no longer afford to fund their training programs again, and to worsen matters, a pandemic has occurred. The question now is this: from this scenario, what kind of mindset should be displayed to get business back on track? Now look at our possible answers. 1, exhibit a growth mindset, that is a resilient mind. Meaning that you are not going to give up because that situation has occurred, a pandemic has occurred. No, look for other things to do. You have to find a way of 2, thinking out of the box, connecting with other agencies that are in the same business with you. It doesn't matter, connect. Number 3, you can connect with WAMDEVIN. You can connect with other training institutions. Number 3, scientifically find out what new things will be offered as a substitute for training. It's key. In my place, in Lagos State Public Service Staff Development Center, we do a bit of coaching. We can coach people, director and 2 mentees, director and 1 mentee, director and 2 other people. We do a bit of coaching. Then we do a bit of hand-holding. We can have a session for 20 people in-house. We invite them and we address the needs and we correct where the challenges and the problems are. So it's a scientific way of doing it. Once you know what the needs are through identification of training needs or training needs analysis, then you do the need to. Number 4, research into felt needs of agencies, especially in the area of work performance or work improvement. These 4 possible answers are telling us that we should not give up. Last year 2020, when the pandemic was at its height, we had to reach out to all our participants using the Zoom platform. And to the glory of God, we were able to reach out to nothing less than 75.6% of them. And to us, it was an impactful thing. Even we were doing something called structured training program. In the STP, we trained people and we did the impact assessment. And it was also found out to be positive. So that's why we are saying that we need to take the first step. As smart A people, you have to act. The challenge has happened, but you have to break a barrier. And in breaking barrier, it is your mind that tells you that you will get there. You only need a few resources. Once you can connect, you will discover that you are getting it right and you are moving on. And that's very important for us. There are other answers, but I've given us just 4 out of 7. I said, do more of training consulting. Network with agencies of same breed. Find a way of adding value to the relationship. Expand the network outside the shores of Nigeria, Africa, and the rest of the world. And number 7, work more on your data, metrics, and analytics to improve the continuous need for training and development, which will also bring about productivity and profitability of the organization. And so on and so forth. You have 9 possibilities. My distinguished trainers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are saying that many things are possible. Many things are possible, but we have to create the right thought to ensure that we get to what we want to do and work around that growth mindset that we have talked about. Now, for people who have shared with us some of their answers, for test 1 and test 2. We are saying that your best answer for test 1 is that you have seen a woman sitting before a boss. If you say it's a leader reading out instructions to a manager, it is not bad. But we are saying that the first thing that you have seen is 2 people. There is a book. A leader reading out instructions to a manager. But you can see a woman. And the way it is, it's like the woman is sitting before the boss. That's why you can see her composure. Although the boss held on to a document and maybe was reading out the content of the document to the woman. If you take 2, B and C, then you are good to go. And for test 2, if you take option B and C, you are also good because option B is saying it's a team led by a boss, all carrying unhappy clothes. Option C too is saying that's a dissatisfied boss being followed by an unhappy team. So the 2 options are good. They are telling you, yes, you are getting very, very close to having a growth mindset because you are looking beyond what you are seeing, and that's very, very important. You must be able to interpret situations. You must be able to know that a challenge has occurred or a challenge may occur. You anticipate it. And that's why I like all of us to work with transformational minds so that we can be where we are actually supposed to be. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I agree entirely with statement made by Mahatma Gandhi, 1869 to 1948, who says that your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values, and finally your values become your destiny. We are destined for greatness. That is what we should believe. In actual fact, from researches, particularly in the scriptures, you are destined for greatness. Otherwise, the Wright brothers would not have invented aircraft that we are all proud of today. We are destined for greatness. That's why people like Jack May would not have done what they have done. That's why people like Bill Gates would not have done what they have done. Bill Gates in the area of programs, computer packages, he is there. And that's why we are saying today is a day of artificial intelligence, a day that we use blockchain technology, a day we use the Internet of Things, and that's our destiny. So our beliefs, our thoughts, our words, our actions, habits, and values matter a lot through a growth mindset to take us to the final destination. I also want to say that a man only attains his zenith. The same thing happens to a woman too. A man or woman only attain their zenith, and they help their organizations too by connecting resilience in them with the vision of the organization to actualize a progressive future for the organization and for the society. Just here in 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all about you and I for our MDIs. The growth mindset cannot be beaten. It's a mindset that sets the pace and the tone for progress, for success, and finally for excellence. On that note, let me just thank you for listening.